First, we can start with the introduction about this Salesforce administration part. Okay, and I will show you how to set up Salesforce developer environment. Okay, like you can use that developer environment for your practice purpose. Okay, and there is a one lifetime free edition available from Salesforce. Okay, we can utilize that edition for our practice. Okay, we can access that edition from anywhere, anytime. So that I will explain you about that. Okay, and also if you have any questions regarding the training, so I will clarify those questions for you in this today's session. It's like a just introduction session. Okay, and I will take like 30 to 45 minutes today, and first 2 or 3 classes only 45 minutes, and then I will increase time to 1 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes depending on your availability. Okay, so before going to start the session, please do let me know if anybody has any questions regarding the training or timings or any questions. And one more thing is I will give you all the sessions recordings. Every day I will upload the recording into the Google Drive, and I will give you that Google Drive folder access. Okay, so after this session, so who need that recordings access, please send me your Gmail address to my email so that I will give you that folder access. Okay, and I hope all of you already have all the course contents, administration course content and development course content. Right, now I am in administration course content. Okay, so here the first two concepts like CRM introduction and introduction to cloud computing on salesforce.com. So these two concepts we already covered on the demo session. We already discussed like what is cloud computing, what is the benefits with the cloud computing, what are the different important areas we have in cloud computing. Okay, and the same as we already discussed about what is CRM, what is benefit with the CRM, what is salesforce.com, what are the different editions in salesforce.com. So up to here we already discussed on demo session. If anybody was not attended demo session, please do let me know so that I will send you that recording session of the demo. You can just watch that and let me know if any questions. Okay. And actually today we have to start it from the salesforce.com architecture and navigation overview from here. Okay. But before going to start this discussion, first I will show you how to set up the Salesforce Developer Edition account. Okay, so from here we can start this administration module. There are totally 25 sessions for this administration module. It's very important and it's very big module comparing with development also, because we can cover so many concepts here and we can discuss about the standard features as well as we can discuss about the customization and the relationships and sales cloud, marketing cloud, service cloud, and analytics and deployment process. So many things we can discuss in this administration model. It's a very important one. After that, we can start the development. Okay, because once we done this administration part, you will get some good idea in the environment so that you can easily do the customization. Okay, so that is my plan. Okay, and by end of this administration module, so I will help you to clear ADM 201 certification, as well as by end of development module, so I will help you to clear platform developer 1 certification. These two are the major and basic certifications. Everyone must have these two certifications nowadays to apply for any job, even that is administration side jobs or development jobs. And during discussion on some concepts, I will give you few assignments also, but it's better to complete the practice every day. Okay, so today if you complete 2 topics, it's better to complete the practice on those 2 concepts by end of the day. Okay, like that you can easily understand the next concepts. Okay, So any questions, anyone regarding any training pattern or something? Okay, so first I will show you how to set up the Salesforce Developer Edition. What is this Developer Edition means? It's a lifetime free edition, and Salesforce providing for lifetime because this is for only learning purpose. Okay, this is the best advantage from Salesforce for learners. Okay, and by using this Developer Edition account, we can create and we can test and we can execute the applications. Okay, but only one thing is not available, that is deployment. We cannot deploy the application to live environment. And even companies also, they will use this developer edition account to do the POCs. Before starting the project, they will do the POC and give a demo to the customer. If customer is satisfied with that, and then we will start the original projects. Right? For doing the POCs also, we can use the developer edition account. And we can create number of developer edition accounts. So now I will show you how to set up this developer edition account. So please all of you set up your own developer edition account after this session. Okay, so to create the developer edition account, the navigation is go to the URL is developer.salesforce.com. Developer.salesforce.com. Okay, and here right corner click on sign up. Sign up, and then here you have to enter your personal details to register yourself. So enter the first name, last name, and enter your working email address. Okay, in Gmail or Yahoo Mail or any mail, but that should be valid email address. Okay, so I am giving my Gmail address as training401@gmail.com. And this email is not an NAQ. We can use same email address for multiple developer edition accounts. Okay, and role you can select any role. Okay, no issues. Developer or administrator or architect, any role. Okay, and company name, cloud, and country and postal code. Okay, and then create your username here. So this username should be in email format. It should be in a queue. We can't reuse existing usernames. Okay, but this should be in email format. Okay, so for example, see, I'm giving SFDC signing run 515@gmail.com. Okay, I only have up to 540. The next one is 550@gmail.com. This is not an email address, but this should be in email format. Okay, next click on sign me up. Now Salesforce will send you one welcome email and with some password link to set up the password. Okay, just we are creating only username, but we have to set up the password. So once we click on this sign me up, we will receive one welcome email from Salesforce. Okay, see here I see the welcome to Salesforce, verify your account. Okay, so here there is a button called verify account. Click on the verify account. So now here we have to set up our password. This is the username and create our password. So that password must be matched with all these requirements: 8 characters, 1 letter, and 1 number. Okay. And select your security questions And we can use the security questions while resetting your passports. Okay, and answer, then change password. So by default, it will log into Lightning environment. Okay, so this is a Lightning environment. There are two types of environments in Salesforce. One is Classic and Lightning. Classic and Lightning environment. The Classic is an old one, and still so many companies are using this Classic environment. And Lightning is a new kind of environment. Okay, Osman, can you hear me?
Yes, Abhilash, I do.
Okay.
Thanks for joining.
Do you have any questions?
Not right now. Maybe end of the topic, end of the class, I would able to ask few questions.
Okay, okay, fine. And Pooja, are you able to hear me? I think you have sent message like you have some issue with the audio.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah,
Okay, good.
thank you.
So yeah. So by default, it's logged in into the Lightning environment. Okay, so the Lightning is a new kind of environment, and I will explain you some basics about this Lightning administration at the end of this classic administration part. Okay, but even if you want to learn the Lightning, you must have knowledge on the classic. Okay, so that's why first we can complete the discussion on the classic part, and at the end of this administration module, I just will give you some brief introduction about how to navigate and how to set up components in Lightning. But for Lightning development, it's a separate module. The candidate must have experience on classic development, and then only they can understand the Lightning development. And also the candidate must have some JavaScript knowledge also to learn this Lightning development. Okay, so now if you want to switch back to this classic environment, okay, if you want to switch back to the classic environment, the navigation is just go to the right corner, click on the profile symbol, and click on switch to Salesforce Classic. So this is the classic environment. The look and feel is different between this Lightning and Classic. Okay, so this is a way of creating a developer edition account. And you can also create your own developer edition account and use that for your practice. Okay, and you can create a number of developer edition accounts with the same email. Email should be same. You can change your usernames and you can create multiple developer edition accounts. Okay, so this is a way of setting a developer edition account. For example, I want to log out from here. I want to log out from this developer edition account. Then go to this username. Okay, click on this drop down and click on log out. Okay, so I am logged out from my developer edition account. Again, I want to log in to my developer edition account. Now, if you want to log in, no need to go to developer.salesforce.com. Developer.salesforce.com to set up your developer edition account. Okay, but to log in into your developer edition account, we can use a URL called login.salesforce.com. Login.salesforce. There are two types of URLs. Mostly we will use these two URLs in our projects. One is login.salesforce.com. Another one is test.salesforce.com. Login.salesforce.com and test.salesforce.com. What is the difference between these two URLs is in Salesforce we have two types of environments. One is sandbox and another one is production. Sandbox and production. Anybody has an idea what is sandbox? Not only in Salesforce, in other technologies also we will use this word called sandbox.
I think we use this for testing.
Yes. So we can use this sandbox for testing. For development also we can use sandboxes. Okay. So production is like a live environment. The business users will log in and they will work on that live environment. But the sandbox is for developers and testers. As a developer, if I want to write any program or if I want to create any component, first I will do it in sandbox. And once the testing is completed, then we will deploy into production. Okay, so here to log in into production environment or developer edition account, just keep it in your mind. If you want to log in into production or developer edition accounts, we can use this login.salesforce.com. Okay, but if you want to log in into your sandbox environment, then we can use this test.salesforce.com. See here in the button also we can see login into sandbox. If you join in any project as a developer or administration, first they will give you sandbox access. They will not directly give you production access. First they will give you sandbox access. Then they will give you production access if required. Okay. So like that, we can use these two types of URLs in our projects. One is login.salesforce.com and test.salesforce.com. Now I want to log in into my developer edition account. So use login.salesforce.com, enter the username and password, click on login. So at first time when you are logging into your developer edition account, it will ask you to register your mobile phone. Okay, so what is the purpose of registering our mobile phones means in Salesforce there is a IP address security is there. IP address security means, for example, I just now created my new developer edition account from my home internet connection, from my home. If I want to log in into this developer edition account from outside, from office or some other public networks, then it will ask you to enter verification code. Because once the IP address is changed, then immediately it will ask you to enter verification code to log in. That verification code by default will send you to your registered email address. In case if you want to receive that verification code into your mobile, then register your mobile here. But it's not mandatory process. If you don't want to register your phone, just click on remind me later or click on I don't want to register my phone.
The person you are speaking with has put your call on hold.
Okay, so this is a way of login into developer environment. Okay, so please all of you set up your own developer edition account after this session. Okay, and now we can see the navigation part. But before going to discuss about this navigation part, first I will give you the Salesforce architecture overview. Salesforce architecture, and then we can discuss about the navigation part. Okay, so what is this Salesforce architecture? Not only here, in any technology, if you want to build an application, we must have to follow one architecture. The same way in Salesforce also there is a one architecture called MVC architecture. This is not only for Salesforce, for other technologies also they will use MVC architecture. The same way, MVC. MVC means model view controller. Model view controller. So I will explain this concept with a small example and with a diagram. Let me open that. Okay, so this is the document, and see, the MVC means model view controllers. Here we have three parts. Okay, and this is the basic diagram. So you will see, you can see multiple diagrams. There are so many diagrams in Google, but this is the basic diagram of MVC architecture. So here we have three areas. One is model, and next one is view, and next one is controller. And I will explain this concept with a small example for your understanding. Okay, for example, I'm a bank employee. Okay, just assume I'm a bank employee, and my responsibilities is every day I have to create multiple bank accounts for customers, banking savings account for customers. So to create the savings accounts, I have to collect the documents from the customer, all the required documents and all the required details. Okay, then I have to enter those details into my banking application, and I have to store the data in my bank database, and I have to apply for debit card. This is my work. I have to do this. Okay, so as of now I don't have any application. Okay, just I am creating saving accounts by paperwork. So I want to build a small application using Salesforce. What's the requirement? As a user, I just have to enter all the customer details in an application, and I want to create a data in my bank database, and as well as I want to apply for debit card. This is the requirement. So how we can build and how we can start building this application in Salesforce means, first we can start with the model area. In this model area, we can design our application and we can create all the required components. Components means, for example, we need to store the customer data in a database. So if you want to store the data, we need a table, right? And generally in SQL or data Oracle database, if you want to store the data, we must have to create one table in database. Right? We must have to create a table and database. Right? That table call it as object in Salesforce. The table call it as object in Salesforce. In database language, we can call it as table, but here we can call it as object. We can create one customer object. After create the table, then what we can do, we have to create the columns, right? Customer name is one column, customer address is one column, customer mobile number is one column. Like that, we have to create all the columns. Those columns call it as fields in our Salesforce. Fields. First, we have to create a customer object, and then we have to create all the fields. So these are all coming under the components. Like that, we have to set up all the components in model area. We have to, if required, we can create multiple objects, multiple fields, and then we can create the relationship between those objects. Like that, we have to set up all the components under the model area. So here I created one customer object and I created all the fields: customer name, address, mobile number, annual income, all the fields. Now, how we can display those components to end user? This model is like a backend, but how we can display these components to end user? For that, we need one front end, because as an end user, I can see only front end. I don't need to see the back end. It's not required. I want to see the front end. In the front end, I have to enter the data of the customer. Then we have to save the data in backend. So how we can display these components to customer? For that, we need one front end. That is called view. So here we can use a Salesforce standard layout, or we can design our custom Visual Force pages, custom layouts by using Visual Force programming. Visual Force is a markup language same as HTML. Same as HTML. We can design the front-end pages in Salesforce by using Visual Force pages programming. So we can create our front end and we can display all the components. It's like a form. We can create our own form. We will enable the access to bank employee. Okay, so bank employee will open that form. In the form, they will enter the data like customer details, like customer name, address, mobile number, all the details. When they click on save button, what is our requirement? We have to create one record in database, as well as we have to apply for debit card. So when the user submit the data in front end, I have to perform these two actions. One is I have to save the data in backend, means database, and another one is I have to apply for debit card. So those things we can control by using controller. By using this controller, we can build a logic, backend logic. Once the user save the data, then what we have to do? If you want to perform any calculations, if you want to perform any manipulations, or if you want to perform any actions, activities, all these things we can build under this controller. To build the controller, we can use the Apex programming language. Apex programming language. Okay, so this controller will enable, once the user submit the data in front end, this controller will enable and it will perform the actions. Then the record will save in this model area. The record will create under the object. So like as a end user, I can only see this view. I don't need to see the model and controller. As an end user, I want to see only this view is like a front end, and I can perform the operations or actions on view only. If I want to create a new record, or if I want to update the existing data, or if I want to delete the data, or if I want to search the data, for everything I can use a view. If I perform any operation in this view, then this controller will perform the actions, then the data will save in this model area. This is the MVC architecture, and we can follow this architecture to build applications in Salesforce. Okay, I will also upload this MVC architecture document into Drive, okay, Google Drive. So it contains more information about this MVC architecture. So please all of you read this document and let me know if any questions. Okay, any doubts, any questions on this MVC architecture? Anyone?
I think I'm good, Abhilash.
Okay. Okay, fine. And the next we have to start the discussion on this navigation part. I think we can start it from tomorrow. Okay, so first 2 or 3 sessions I will take only 40 to 45 minutes. Okay, and then we can continue the sessions with 1 hour. Okay, so please all of you set up your developer edition account. Today activities you have to do is first you can set up your developer edition account and send me your Gmail so that I will give you that Google Drive folder access for all of you. Okay, and I will upload this MVC architecture document, and please look at the document, and if you have any questions let me know. And before going to start the tomorrow session, first we can discuss about all your questions and doubts, and then we can start tomorrow session. Okay, tomorrow we can discuss about the navigation part. I will explain you how to operate this application, and then we can go to personal setup, how to manage the personal settings in Salesforce.
Yeah, Abhilash, I have a question here.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. So we are just this is like an introduction class, right? That we are going through today.
Yes.
So and how long would be the